This is a 5th generation Toyota Celica. If you have a 4th or 5th generation Toyota Celica, you may be experiencing what they call the hot start problem, which is where you turn the key and nothing happens. The starter doesn't click, it doesn't make any noise at all. Although it doesn't always happen when it's hot. It'll happen after just sitting overnight. You go to work and you try and start the car, you turn the key and nothing happens. But it'll also do it after you drive it, you get home, you turn it off, or you're at the gas station, you turn it off. One time that happened to me. And wouldn't start up again. I had to push it into a spot and walk home. And the next day, I thought I was gonna have to tow it home. Had a friend come with me with a tow rope, started right up again. So what that's caused by is apparently the one of the starter wires gets a little, old, dirty, or just the starter wiring in general gets old, and it doesn't let enough juice through, I guess, to allow the starter to start when you turn the key. Mine also has always, you turn the key and you have to wait like up to 5 seconds for the starter to start cranking, and then it'll start. But anyway, that's what they call the hot start problem. So in this video, we're hopefully gonna do a mod that takes care of that. Kind of juices up the starter wiring so that it gets enough juice every time, like new. Here's your shopping list. You need some 12 gauge or 16 gauge wire. You need a inline fuse holder. You need a 30 amp fuse. And you also need one of these relays. It's a 12 volt, I'm reading this off the instruction, 12 VDC waterproof 5-pin Bosch style relay SPDT 30 to 40 amp relay with metal bracket or plastic bracket is what I got. Okay, so we're done, and it actually works, and it wasn't extremely hard. Anyway, what you do is, here's your diagram you can freeze on. That's the relay you have to buy. It's a 12 VDC waterproof 5-pin Bosch style relay SBT 30-40 amp with metal bracket if you can find it. Mine's plastic, but. And then I used a lot of, it was mostly 10 gauge and up wire actually. You can take your relay. The hardest part to figure out, really, if you're not inclined, is the starter pin wire. Comes up through this harness here. We peeled that out a bit, and you actually have to split that. So the way I did it is we ran it out of the harness and then we spliced a terminal that connects to the relay on 86 here, and then goes back down to the starter pin. Then we had some, I don't know, this is like 10 or this pretty heavy gauge wire here. Goes from your 30 on the relay to the starter post, and then you've got this was a 12 gauge, I believe. 30 amp inline fuse to the positive battery, and then another heavy ground from the relay to a chassis ground. And it started right up. I had no more hesitation, and from all I can hope is that it's always going to start perfectly from now on. All I gotta do is put everything back together, and as it is with my car anyway. If yours is still mostly factory stock, you're kind of lucky, because mine was beat to hell before I bought it, so I had to cobble it back together again. So there you go. I'll take one more shot when I put it back together, eh? So there it is, all back together again. The 3S GTE turbo all-wheel drive. Or you might have the 1.8 rubber band engine. It's the same thing. From what I understand, the no start problem happens with the different submodels, but it's always within you know, Generation 4, Generation 5 from like late 80s to early 90s. So, and I realized I didn't get a shot of the actual problem happening, but I'll turn the key and show you that it starts like a normal car should. And just one other separate note. I know the internet trolls are going to bring this up, so I'm including it. Yes, it is totally stupid to have an open air filter underneath the hood of your car. It does absolutely no good. This is the way I got it. And yes, it's on the list of to-dos, but I'm a procrastinator and I get lazy, so it works as good as I care for it to work. And here we go. See, before I would turn the key to start and nothing would happen for a few seconds, or it just wouldn't start at all. So yeah, it's not perfect, but that's my car. Thank you for your kind attention.